What's up, everyone? Welcome to The Balance Show. We believe that the key to life is balance.
Finding the balance between discipline and freedom, ambition and contentment. The perfect balance is unique to each individual.
We are your hosts, Taylor, Chloe, and Steve, and we're here to help you find your balance.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Balance Show. Today I have myself and a special guest who hasn't been on here for so long because he's been a working man.
That's me. What's up, everybody? Steve here, back on the pod. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute since he's joined us.
It's been a while. It feels kind of foreign. I actually haven't been in the new studio yet,
We got
is actually
we
a
got
studio.
a new podcast studio, guys. It's literally a studio.
It is. I'm going to raise the mic a little bit. Hold on.
But
Much better.
we felt like when we were doing the podcast in the office, it was so chaotic and our brains were not focused, nor were we like relaxed. So
Well, there also wasn't enough space at all because we were using one of the offices, which we had now we have, I think, 10 employees.
12.
12,
12, Steven.
Is that including you, me, and Chloe?
The new 2. Mariah. No, it's not including.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have enough people in there that we need that office. So good thing we're here.
So the
Long story
podcast
short.
got pushed out, but it's a good thing because it's going to make some fire podcast. Okay, anyways, we're getting way off track. What's up, guys? Today we are talking about the pros and cons of running a business with your significant other.
I know there's probably a lot of people out there who have some great ideas and you want to tackle them with your significant other, be that your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whoever it may be. So I think this may be some good insight for you guys.
Right, and it's something that I get a lot of questions on my social medias. They always ask how me and Steve are able to like have the relationship we have while owning a business together. So let's go over it.
Just some background. When I left medical school in 2018 or 17,
17, yeah.
we started doing fitness challenges together. And that was the first business that we worked on together. And now we are doing Balance Athletic, our clothing line, together along with Taylor's sister. So that's just a little background.
Okay, so we wrote some lists here. Let's go over the pros first, yeah?
We could either do that or go from one pro to one con.
Let's do that.
I think back and
You
forth
have
would be
such
good.
Back
good
and forth,
ideas. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to introduce Ari. You guys, this is Ari. He's A, the producer of our podcast, B, works full-time with Balance, of course, and C, Chloe's boyfriend.
What's going on, guys?
He's the
Last
director
but not
of
least.
marketing.
So I didn't want to leave him out because he may be asking some cues here for us.
The mystery man.
In case you guys hear a third voice, it's Ari.
I'm like the shadow guy on Nintendo Smash Bros.
Shadow Mario. Is it Shadow Mario?
It's me.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
So-
Well, let's start with the first one. Pro.
So the first pro is to be able to work together as a team and learn how to do so. A lot of times, you know, you can get into a relationship, you're so used to doing things individually that you have to learn how to live with that person, work alongside that person in so many different ways. So owning a business together and living together and having a relationship together, it's all about teamwork. So you really get to grow and develop in that way, which is pretty strong at the end of the day.
Yeah. A lot of us that are in relationships, our teamwork is really good to begin with just because this is your significant other and that this is a person that you generally, I would expect you guys would be good as a team together in terms of your relationship. However, in business, it is a lot different just because you do have the clashing of ideas and stuff like that. So this is really good for speaking from our relationship, it's really good for us because it has helped us learn how to be a team in different aspects outside of our relationship alone.
Right. And like it even goes to when we're going to have kids. Like when I see him handling a situation at work, like an issue or like taking care of people, I'm like, oh, he's gonna, make a great dad. So it can develop into other areas of your life too, and not just about business. But that kind of leads into our first con, and that is the fact that you can have different viewpoints, which can lead to arguments.
Yeah, just because you're in a relationship does not mean that you agree with everything. It does mean that Taylor's always right.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Guys, you know what I'm talking about. But
happy wife, happy life.
yeah. But in business, that is completely different than a relationship. There are ideas that you need to have conflicting ideas sometimes to create the ultimate best outcome. And there are times where like we agree off the bat on things, but other times it's just complete opposites.
To be completely honest, we're two separate people and we have our own ideas. Like he has a viewpoint on something and I have one completely different, and that happens quite often. So you can't let that get into your relationship outside of work. That's why it's so important with whatever business partner you have, whether they're your significant other or not, to be able to leave business in business, but when you're away from the office, make it personal and don't let those things leak into that personal life.
Yeah, because there's big decisions that we make where we just don't see eye to eye on specific things, and the best thing that we've found to do to kind of just fix it is get like a third party or somebody else involved, and then that they can shed light on both ideas and kind of just help hash things out, especially in a business setting. Yeah,
like when we are at home and we're talking business, Steve has to stop me because we can either go into an argument and not see eye to eye about it. He knows right then and there. He'll be like, nope, we're not doing this. We're going to wait for Chloe. And that's something that's worked for us because Chloe's my sister and other business partner. So she's able to kind of have another viewpoint on the situation. So you kind of have to force yourself to take a step back and have that other point of view. Because, we're always like so headstrong in our relationships. At least we are.
Shadow Man coming in with a question.
Shadow Man, what's
Shadow
up?
Man, it's me. So you guys talk about how it's cool how you can like conquer tasks together and learn from each other, working together. There's two sides to that though. Obviously, people need their space, their alone time, whether they're married or in a relationship. How do you guys manage that? Is that how when you guys go to the gym, when you guys do stuff with your own friends?
Like have our alone time?
Yeah.
Well, there was a period of time where Steve and I would literally be together every second of the day, and we have never really gotten sick of each other. That's just a quality that him and I have had together. But I think over time, like we've been together for like 8 years now, over time we kind of like our space, and instead of having the same office, the same work area, the same daily tasks, he does operations, I do more marketing and all of that. So we actually don't see each other all day, every day. But when we did, it was really helpful to go to the gym, put our headphones on, do our thing, just have that at least like 1 or 2 hours of alone time, have separate offices. Because it is important. Like you do want to be your own person, and being together too often can lead to fights. Like you start to pinpoint the little things that your person does,
Yeah, it's like you left the towels on the ground. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like leaving the cabinets open and stuff.
Oh, I'm an avid cabinet lever opener. Chloe hates it.
I know you are. Chloe tells me about it.
I'm perfect. I don't do anything wrong.
I was waiting for Steve to say all the things that he hates that I do, because I do a lot of stuff that he hates.
There was I'm trying to think of the worst one.
Oh my gosh. A habit?
It'll come to me. Yeah, there's a bad one.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Can't wait to dispute it. Okay, so going back to a pro. Take it away, Steven.
So one pro that we have is that, and I think this kind of bases, like it's kind of bounces off the teamwork thing, is that we both, being that we're in a relationship, I think it brings it to another level when we can challenge and push each other in business on something that we both are very passionate about and something that we love to do.
Right.
There's not much more to add. I mean, that's
There's
just
not.
It's really just
It's
that's one of
fun
the
to, like,
that's one of the pros.
It's fun to be able to push yourself in that aspect because you know that that person has your best intention at heart. So the fact that they are like pushing you and like it may be, you know, making you upset or mad at that person, they only have your best interest at heart. Whereas other people, if they push you or lead you down a different path, it could be with ill intentions. So it's really cool to have someone that completely has your back, pushing you in so many different areas that you can grow from.
Yeah, there's no like ulterior motive. We just want the best for each other. Mm-hmm. And that's all there is to that one. So right. Let's move on to a con. I can kind of talk about this one just because I added it to the list. But in a business where the owners have separate responsibilities within the business, sometimes there can be misunderstanding that happens between the two divisions of the business. So I'm operations, Taylor and Chloe are more of the marketing and design and all that good stuff. So if something goes wrong in one of those fields, naturally you want to point fingers. Mm-hmm. And I mean, sometimes I'm pretty bad about that just because I'm quick to be like, what the heck's going on? Mm-hmm. I want to know what's going on. And I can come off as a little harsh. So like in a relationship, when you try to get to the bottom of things like that, especially within business, it can create friction.
Yeah, and like you have to learn how your person operates, and like if your person responds better to being more soft and like soft with the way they speak and all that, you kind of have to tailor how you talk to them because your relationship is fragile and it's it can't be like disturbed too much from the business side of things. But there is like, I would say Steve and I have a business, like the way we talk business is separate from the way we actually talk in life in general. Mm-hmm. Like business wise, we're able to like be harsh and say what we want to say, and that's that. And we've had to work through that, like it's not personal. Whereas when we're out of the office and whatever, we can have fun and like we're totally different people. But sometimes you have to learn that like if you do want to go into business with your significant other, it's not going to be rainbows and sunshine 24/7.
Yeah. So I guess there's one little point I want to add to that con is that misunderstandings within business do happen and mistakes do happen. So the best way that we have found to combat that con itself is to just keep open lines of communication. And like even now we're still working on it.
Oh yeah. It's a constant daily practice.
Yeah. We try to keep each other informed of everything going on within each division of the business. And now that we're growing to a specific size, that's been a kind of a new con to us just because it's something new that we've had to experience.
Right. Totally.
But that con can turn into a pro and a strength. But it definitely, like if you aren't careful, it can be a con.
Totally. So another pro to this is that when you own a business together, there's a ton of growth that happens personally, relationship-wise, business-wise, and leadership-wise. So it's really cool to be able to grow like right next to that person you're with together. So you're not in your separate jobs growing where maybe that job has different values than this job and all of that. You're in the same situation every single day, growing together. You know exactly everything that's going on in each other's lives. You're a part of each other's lives in so many ways. So it's cool to watch your person grow like that on a daily basis.
Yeah, and it's good because since we are around to call each other out on our BS, we can. Like that's a good thing. Like we never are going to allow ourselves to inflate our heads too much or like think we're above anything. And it just keeps us grounded to a point where we know that we could be accountable for one another. And as we grow in our personal, in our personal ways, in the business itself and in leadership, we can kind of we can watch each other grow and take the strengths that our significant other has and try to incorporate that into our own routine. And we can also call each other out on our weaknesses where we see we have voids in all those realms. So like, it's just cool to see the way that things have changed over the past year, especially like speaking for myself with Taylor, just to watch her grow into her role and really take on the responsibility of being an owner of this business and just trying to be the best leader that she can. I think that's definitely a pro for me, owning a business with her.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say about you. You took my words right out of my mouth. I think that's the coolest thing with me too, is just watching you grow as a leader. Because other things, like, you can develop outside of the business, but you can't really watch your significant other grow as a leader like you have. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. Being a leader is not like acting like you're the shit and like acting like you run it. It's getting down the trenches and working hard alongside everybody else and just doing your best to lead by example. And I think you do a really good job of that.
Oh,
And that's a pro.
you too, Steven.
Con.
Okay, con. You need to learn to work with your significant other and not against your significant other. So Chloe and I, we're best friends. We're sisters, we're best friends, whatever. But I will say, at the start of this business, we'd sometimes bully Steve.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
But, you can't, in order for the relationship, the business relationship, and the relationship in general to last, you need to be able to learn how to work with your significant other and not always
Yeah, they have to listen to my right ideas and get their wrong ideas out of their head.
I've learned that,
Likewise to me, though.
Chloe and I are not always right. I think Steve has, like, the most incredible moral compass, and sometimes Chloe and I can get either really heated or, like, make really rash decisions, and Steve is a very, like, grounded person, so he's able to help direct us in every which way. But at the beginning, I wasn't always working with him. I was working against him, because I was more like trying to work with Chloe because we're like BFFs. So now I've really had to no, I've really had to learn, like, to be listening to both points of views rather than just like one all the time,
Yeah.
So it's really important for you guys to learn how to do that as well.
Agreed. Working with is key. It's easier to work against than work with.
Totally. And that's how you create growth as well.
Yeah. So what's cool about building a business with your significant other is that you and your significant other have similar goals as to what kind of culture you want to create in the business and, like, the infrastructure of the business. And, like, you get to do that together. You get to build it exactly the way that you as a couple would want to. And I think that together, we've done exactly what we wanted to do, which has been very fun. And that's a 100% pro to having a business with your significant other.
I agree. One of the next cons is that no matter what business you're in, there's going to be a lot of pressure, and most likely a lot of pressure on a daily basis. So within that, it can really create some tension between not only you and, your employees, but mostly you and your business partner, aka your significant other. So if you're not careful, you can let these tensions build up to a point of maximum burst out craziness. Does that make sense? So basically, you have to learn how to work well together under pressure, which is something that a lot of people have to learn. But this is a constant daily practice, again, like we said before.
Yeah, I think a big one is a lot of people have a long fuse or a short fuse, and they blow up however long their fuse is. But I think the best thing to do is just, before the fuse is even lit, just make sure that you voice your opinion.
Communicate.
Yeah, you voice your opinion. You make sure that what you want to say is heard, and you don't step back and, like, if you disagree with something, make sure to put it out there immediately, because if not, then it dwells and, like, something can go wrong, and then you get mad at one another at a random time. It could be whenever. It could be, like, when you're not at work. Right.
So, like, you have your business issues together that you can create or not create, and then you have your life issues that you have together. You don't want to create those business issues, like, on top of life in general. You want to be able to squash it as quickly as you can. And then something that I've learned this year, this may be like the biggest thing I've learned, is to not speak or do anything when you're angry. Like nothing, I always want, like 99% always regret what I say and what I do when I'm upset or angry or having any of those feelings. So take a step back, breathe, think about it. If you have to take like a day, do it, because you're going to be so much more clear-minded and you're not going to speak out of rage.
Amen.
But like that's like, I feel like with the growth that we've had with balance, there's been a lot of pressure, and you just can't let those things build up. You should be able to learn to lean on your significant other and not like attack that person, because that's the person that truly like loves you, you know?
For sure. I agree with that 100%. 100%.
Mic drop.
Something that's a pro that's really, really cool is starting something together and like creating this whole future and life for yourself. And then also like providing for other people. Like now we provide a whole living for 12 people, and then like our leaders and members, which is like 30 people on top of that. So it's cool to be able to like grow something into something more than yourselves with your significant other. Like you get to share that together rather than just by yourself.
Yeah. We are not like, we're not selfish people. So seeing other people around us succeed,
It's the
not
best
necessarily,
feeling.
I mean, it's not something that we've built ourselves. It's more like seeing everybody together work together to build something incredible, and we get to like be a part of that together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like growing it, like growing a business together is so special, and something that you'll look back on, you know, years down the road. Like the hard times that you're like, I feel like if you're able to start a business together and make it happen with someone, you literally can go through it all. Because that's some high pressure tension shit.
Oh my goodness. True that.
The next thing, this one's definitely a con.
I can do it.
Okay, go.
It is, and these kind of like go together. So it is 100% a con. It is hard to shut off work, and sometimes you can slip into a mindset or an actual physical being of no days off. I think we worked on the operation side like 36 days straight, and that's a whole different story because it's like a startup. I mean, you kind of have to expect that, and there are times where you're going to have no days off, which is a con. Because everybody's working, and then it's just 100% work, and that's all you're talking about, all that's on your mind.
But it's so fun, and we're so passionate about it that if we're not careful, we talk about it all the freaking time. Like no matter what we're doing, we always want to try and take it to the next level. And so we really urge you guys to, when you're in the office, keep it in the office, but when you're outside, like put a time on it, like 5 p.m. You're not going to talk about work. Like when I'm sitting there on the couch working, Steve will come over and shut it off because he hates it, and he knows that it's detrimental.
I feel like I'm pretty good at it when I'm at home.
You're
shutting
good.
it off.
You're very good at it, and it's frustrating to me because I'm like, Steve, talk to me about this issue, and he like won't. So it's really good to have one person in that relationship be held accountable to that like time limit, or keeping business in business, like in the office.
Yeah, you're gonna burn yourself out if you talk about it too much, or like you don't take time away from it. It's just not. It really is not good for your state of mind at all.
What's the point of working so hard if you can't enjoy it?
You got to unplug.
Yeah.
Even if you enjoy it, I think you need to unplug and like do something else because
then like your partner just becomes your business partner, you know? Like you don't have any outside experiences with each other if you don't make yourself shut it off, especially if you're starting a business together. It can be really tricky.
Yeah. You're going to experience in the first year or 2 or 3. I mean, it's whenever you're starting a business, it is a lot of work. So just be prepared for It's an unfortunate con that you can't really escape when you're working with your partner. You're both going to be working maybe on the same thing, maybe on something different, but you're always going to be working for a little while. It's just impossible not to.
Do you guys have some type of like rule, like, hey, no balance after 8 p.m.? Do you guys do anything like that? I'm asking because Chloe and I struggle with the same thing.
Yeah.
So our goal is to get after it as early as possible and don't stop getting after it until 5:30.
Yeah. And then like once that wine is poured, we're done.
Yeah. A good thing you can do is like get your gym session in early. Like we both wake up at about 5:30 ish to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. Like get every other little thing out of the way. Get the house clean. Take care of all that stuff. That way when you get home, all you have to worry about is just unwinding, which is a good thing to worry about.
You guys should try it. Like, you have a set time. That's kind of what we do. And you don't, like, maybe it's you who has to be that accountability person, and you have to be like, nope, we're not talking about this till tomorrow morning, you know, or like bring this up tomorrow, or let's create a set meeting to talk about that. Because if you guys don't, it'll be like that's all you talk about.
Yeah, it's hard to, you don't feel like you need to schedule meetings.
Yes.
But you do.
You really do, and you should. Like, it's a business relationship just like anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just finding ways that you can be as efficient as possible to get your set list done, and then everything else is like extracurricular. So like if you have 5 big things for the day that need to be done, get those done for sure. And then if something else pops up, it can be pushed to the next day if it has to be.
Sometimes though, those big picture ideas, they do come at like a dinner. Like when we're out, like drinking wine, having dinner, sometimes those conversations come up, and that's so fine.
Yeah, that's a different type of conversation, though.
Yeah.
It's like, let's not talk about work issues or like day-to-day tasks.
Yeah.
Big picture stuff, that's great.
That's fun.
That's fun. Exactly. That's what we're passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's end it with a pro. And
a pro is, well, this is kind of a unique pro for us. Okay. Everybody that works with us is our friend. Unless they're acting like it. Unless they're being nice. They don't want to make us upset.
So Steve and I have a very close circle of friends. And I mean, for me, I've learned quality over quantity is best. And honestly, I can't keep up with 1 million friends anyways. So I'd rather have like 3 close friends. So therefore, the people we work with, we spend all day, every day with. And yeah, like we've become friends with them. And that's really cool because you basically have the same exact friend group as your significant other. You guys have the same inside jokes. You all travel together. Like you get to do complete life with that person, which is so fun. Like I couldn't imagine going to an office without Steve now.
True that. Yeah, and one thing I want to touch on with having like friends in the workplace and like all that stuff, it's like it's kind of like thin ice, you know, like you want to be really careful with the way you navigate that, because it's hard having friends that work with you / for you. So you want to make sure that you're straight up with them, like, listen, this is business time, we can be friends, like, because we are friends, but if I have to have a difficult conversation with you, which I don't ever want to or never intend to, like, I don't ever want that to happen, but I will, like, I'll call you out if I have to. And that's what friends do to begin with, you know?
And that's one of those growth things with leadership. Like, that's more of a leader issue than, you know, an employee issue. And it's something that I struggle with on a daily basis, because I tend to really get close to people. And sometimes that's not the best for when someone is working for you, because you tend to stop drawing those lines and you tend to like go past them. So
yeah, definitely, that's the thing. You have to make clear cut like rules and lines, and like if something's crossed, you have to remember that this is, you know, you guys are definitely friends, but these were clear cut rules that like we've set. So if they're crossed, if that line's crossed, you have to squash it immediately.
You can't be afraid to call them out on it or have a conversation with them about it, for sure.
And
that
you
is
can
like a
still
whole
be
other
friends.
podcast. I mean, shoot.
Yeah, it is different.
That's that's a tough topic to talk
But yeah,
about.
once we mention it's a pro, because it is.
It is.
They're all like, they're my friends in the workplace, and it's working out incredibly well. So it's a pro.
It is a pro. And it's like, we're all just having a great time. You know, work hard, play even harder.
And that's why our team is awesome. It's small, quality over quantity.
Totally.
Pew, pew, pew.
I thought there was one more.
Traveling together. No.
Oh yeah, we'll traveling
I
together.
said that.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, that's it. That's it for the list. There's probably more that we aren't thinking of, but
Yeah.
this
I
is a
hope you guys
good starting point.
enjoyed it. I mean, we're not experts in anything. I mean, we are like still fresh into growing our business and owning our business. So we're just trying to share with you what we learn along the way, and we hope that it can be of value to you and you guys can relate to this in some way. Especially if you're thinking about starting a business with your significant other, definitely listening to this hopefully gives you some insight.
Yeah, for sure. We are, like you said, we're not experts in any way, shape, or form, but we have experience in the field, and this is just 100% from our experience, how we feel regarding the topic of this podcast.
Yeah.
So take it or leave it. Do whatever you want to do with it. Been watching
And that's it.
Rhythm and
Watch
Flow.
that rhythm and flow with your significant other. That's a pro.
Yep,
Okay.
of starting a business.
If you guys have any suggestions, be sure to go on to the Instagram at The Balance Show and let us know what you guys want to hear. We love hearing from you, and this podcast is so special to us. We really love sharing our life with y'all. So, love you. Thanks for listening. Be sure to leave a rate and, what is it, a comment or a review.
Make sure to review us, baby.
I'm so used to YouTube. Review, and we will see you in the next one.
Later, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.